Hi Helen, here's one of the videos I told you I was going to make. This one will be in uh, talking about how to set up a new document. So let's say, for example, that we were going to make a flyer for an event, and the flyers were going to be half-page sheets. So to make it look really nice, we want to make sure that our design is going to be um, centered on each half page. So let me show you how you could set that up so that when you put together your flyer, it has borders that are equal on all sides and it looks real sharp. So um, most of our flyers are going to be on 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. So the way we would kind of set up a flyer for that is we go up to File and we would create a new document. I'm afraid probably that's not showing on your screen right now, but we would create a new document and we'll just call it flyer. And we would come here, and pick our document size. In this case, it'll be 8.5 inches wide and 11 inches tall. And since this is going to be on the printer, we'll go ahead and choose 300 pixels per inch for our resolution. Usually best to work in RGB. And then if you were going to send this out to, say, a printer, later on convert it to CMYK. But I find that the file sizes are going to be a little smaller working in RGB, and the blending modes and other cool things that you can do in Photoshop work better in RGB than they do in CMYK. So anyway, we'll create a document, hit OK. Now we have our page. So as you can see, this is a full page. So if we were going to have our flyer, and in this case it would be a horizontal flyer, we would want to make sure that we lay our design out in the center of each half of the page. And there's an easy way to go about doing that. I assume the printer there in your office prints to, say, maybe a 1/4 inch of the page. That's a pretty safe estimate. So one of the ways that you can set up your document, have it spaced right so that you're not having the printer cut off part of your design or have it be kind of skewed to one side of the page or the other, is the use of guides. And so the way that you go about setting up guides on your page is you would just go into the rulers on the side of your page. If you don't have those set up, it's simple. You just hit Command R to make them go away, Command R to make them come back. So if you just go into the ruler, click and drag, you see you can pull out these little lines and align it to 1/4 on either side of the page, 1/4 inch. Then we do the same thing here, 1/4 inch. And this is going to be the area you want inside of these guidelines. Make your design and make sure it doesn't go outside of these guides. That way your design isn't going to get cut off by the printer. Now, since this is going to be half pages, we know that half of 11 inches is 5.5 inches. And so if we're going to do the same thing here, we wouldn't just go to the half point, because then we would have a design that skews to the bottom or to the top depending on which side of the flyer you're working with. In this case, we would put our ruler at 5.25, leave a guide there, and then drag another one down at 5.75. Now you have two equal areas where you can create your flyer. You could create your flyer up here, copy the whole thing, and then paste it all down here. And that way when you print it, if you've designed it to go to the edges of each guideline, you'll have two perfectly spaced designs within the page, so that when you cut it halfway, there's a 1/4 inch of unused space around the whole design on either page. That way you have these really nice flyers that are spaced perfectly within the page, and that's a good start right there to just make something that looks nice and professional. So hopefully that helps you get stuff started out.